My name is Noah, and today I'm going to try to help you learn how to talk about your depression by going over some things that have helped me. I had a massive breakdown 5-6 years ago, and this whole channel is just about me sharing my life, my story, and occasionally mental health topics when I feel so inspired. And today's one of those days that I do, because I got another message, a message that has become quite familiar, that basically just reads, I'm depressed, I'm anxious, I don't know how to talk about it, I feel so alone. And I think that's a universal issue for both males and females in this society, and they'd rather suffer alone than admit that they're hurting or risk being judged. I've learned a few things, and I hope that something I share with you today might empower you or help you deal with whatever you're going through. And first and foremost, for everyone who is in the right now, I'm sorry. The first tip for talking about your depression is to educate yourself on your condition. One of the biggest issues I had early on was that I truly believed that nobody knew what I was going through and that no one had ever gone through this. Because I'd never gone through it. If I'd known more about what depression is, how it affects people, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, I wouldn't have come to so many abrupt and ignorant conclusions in my head that ultimately triggered more anxiety, more depression, more isolation, and more feelings of hopelessness, like I was not going to make it. So I want to empower you to learn as much as you can. That will provide a base point for you to start learning how to communicate what you're feeling and to validate those feelings. The more I learned, the better I felt about talking about it, because I realized I wasn't crazy. You can find educational resources online. I will link a couple YouTubers who I really think are wonderful. But otherwise, you can go to your local bookstore. You can download books off the internet, but just start reading, start learning. Tip number 2 for how to talk about your depression is find a model. And what I mean by that is find someone, male, female, whatever, who you believe understands what you're going through. This doesn't have to be someone you necessarily know, although it can be, but it doesn't have to be. It can be someone online, it can be someone who wrote a book, it can be a television figure, it can be anyone who you sincerely believe understands what you're going through. Because if their communication, if their openness, male or female, whomever that you believe is a model for you, if they connected with you on your depressive feelings, your feelings of suicidality, your anxiety, your mess in your head, if you believe that they believe, that should empower you and give you a sense of comfort that your story will resonate with someone else, even if it's someone designated to help you. For me, that person was Douglas Block. I mention him all the time on the channel. I've featured him here, and it was the craziest aha moment. I was in the psych hospital at St. Vincent Hospital. I read his book, When Going Through Hell Don't Stop. And that was the first time I'd ever read anything or heard anything or connected with anything that made me realize I wasn't alone. And it really did give me this hunger to get better. And I tried so much harder after that, and I communicated so much more, and I fought for myself so much more because I'd hope. I'd found someone, a model. Find that model, whoever that might be for you, and use that as a catalyst to start talking about yourself, since you learned from someone talking about themselves. Tip number 3 might not apply to everybody, but I imagine it will apply to some people. And that is to let go of fear of judgment by talking to someone anonymous. Someone anonymous. A lot of the times it's just a loophole that we're afraid of someone we know knowing this about us and holding it against us or judging us, whether it be parents, friends, family, employers, whatever. Find someone anonymous that you can communicate with. That can be someone online, that can be a healthcare professional, someone who you understand will maintain your confidentiality. And it could be a forum. It can just be someone that you sincerely are comfortable practicing communicating with, because you just don't care what they think about you. There are businesses set up to where you can text what you're going through, because a lot of people would rather text, and I'll put a link in the description if you're a teen. I know of one service where you can texting teens, and that anonymity really helps you get things going. And there are hotlines you can call, and then there are people you can reach out to who anonymously can offer you support and help get that ball rolling, and they might be able to segue you into talking to someone in your more immediate world, which I think is very important. Talking to someone is a lot better than not communicating with anybody, I promise. Tip number 4 is going to apply to people that maybe are ready to start talking to someone they know. Your friends, your family. My tip for you guys is to have faith in the power of honesty. One thing this channel has taught me time and time again is that people just dig when other people talk freely about what they're going through. Actually say what they mean and what they're feeling. And there's never been a more important time for you to do that if you're depressed, if you're anxious, if you're suffering. We need each other. We need each other, and we just assume people don't understand, but you're wrong. I was wrong. There will be people who you would imagine could never, ever have possibly struggled with brain problems, mood problems, but just by your being honest with them and vulnerable, it just opens up this floodgate of vulnerability and response and support. And maybe not everyone has been through it, but most people want to come for you and support you anyway. And then a lot of people have actually dealt with a lot of it. But we're a hush-hush society about that, and I think it's slowly getting better, but it's not good enough. And you can be a part of that solution by sharing your pain. The more I share, like I said, the more healing and support has always come my way. It's powerful. So just have faith in people, have faith in honesty. And if someone happens to shut you down or make you feel terrible, you're fighting for your own survival. Brush that shit off and go to the next person. Tip number 5 goes something like this. Sharing anything is always better than saying nothing. Here's what I mean by that. People reach out to me all the time and they say, well, Noah, you're a pretty good communicator. You seem to know how to express how you feel, and I don't. And I get that. I'm a talker, and maybe you're not a talker. Maybe you struggle for words, or you get nervous, or you get scared just trying to say anything of real consequence when it comes to how you're feeling, and you bottle up. Just say that. You don't have to say the perfect thing. The whole point of this tip is that you say anything at all. You could literally go to, let's say you're close to your mom, or you're close to your dad, or you're close to your significant other, I hope, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, and you just tell them, I don't know how to tell you this, but I feel down. I feel dark. I can't sleep. I can't stay asleep. I'm scared. I need help. Boom. See, I can dress things up with descriptive words, and I can try to say things that elicit emotional responses because I'm sort of built that way, and some of you are too, but other people aren't built that way. And you can literally bypass the entire eloquence of trying to talk about how you're feeling by saying you don't know how to talk about how you're feeling. Boom. There's some honesty. Like we talked about, people dig honesty. Anything that's real, you can just use that and you can parlay that into something, because saying something is always better than saying nothing. And I just want to empower you to try that. And you can keep it simple to start. You can keep it slow. Maybe you don't trust someone. Maybe you certainly don't trust the idea of telling someone everything. We all have our secrets, deep, dark thoughts. We got to keep some stuff to ourselves. Sure. What are you willing to say? It sort of plays into that too. Keep it really brief to begin with. Just say, I feel down. I feel depressed. Maybe I need help. I'm having anxiety. And then build from there. See how people reciprocate. And that sort of feeling out process can often lead you to the right person who would be beneficial for you to talk to. Say something. Lastly, I want to end this with a sentimental note, a bonus tip, and that is to be brave. I think a lot of us think of bravery, and we don't think of depression and anxiety and talking about it as being an incredibly brave act, but it is. To me, bravery means different things for different people. Surviving severe depression, if you're in a severe state, is a full-time job. It's a minute-to-minute, breath-for-breath, endless pain cycle that you honestly are just trying to endure and bear. And that's brave of you. Just keep going, because you're worth it. And you have to redefine that success and that bravery. And like I said, that changes for different people. It can be brave of you to click on this video. It's brave of you to ask for help, doing what you need as opposed to what you think you want. I just want you to be brave, no matter what. Be brave. Take chances on yourself for getting better. Get outside of your comfort zone. It's a lot more difficult to do this by yourself. Those are my 5 tips plus a bonus tip on how to start talking about your depression. Now, these are just things I was thinking and feeling. I know a lot of you know so much, and I really, really want you to be giving of that information in the comments below. If you have tips for talking about your depression that I left out, or you want to elaborate on something I said, or you just have anything to share with me whatsoever, I appreciate your time. I'm glad you're here, and I wish you strength, courage, and hope, and tons of bravery. I'll put some links in the description, like I said, some YouTubers I like, some resources I like, and let's just keep going. One day, 1 hour, 1 minute at a time, we can get through it together. I have always needed you guys, and for any of you who may need me in whichever way, shape, or form I can help, or I can be here for you, I'm really happy to be here for you. See you guys in the next video. Be good. Take good care of yourself. Peace.